Not ready yet. Huh?
They're coming! The whole damned village! Get up! Get up! We have to fight our way out!
There! Take them!
May the light preserve us.
Awakening in a bloody shack, we hear.
Lost souls! All of you!
We're then set upon by a trio of bloodthirsty villagers we recognize as our scythe swathes through the flesh and sinew. Adding to the gore-soaked floor, even with our expertise in blood magic, we're mortified at the grisly scene. Equipping a Stridus tunic of a nearby corpse to somewhat free us of our winter wear. Weary from the drug, we stagger out through the barn's double doors and are immediately flanked by Stannis, armed with a small dagger and ill intent. It's then we spy Varney, our one-time ally, and we end her life with bone shards flung into her flesh as she proclaims,
"You are blessed like us now."
That was all of them. Light willing.
Turning to our liberator, we now recognize the man and exclaim, "You're the madman from the shed."
Madman? Those heretics drugged me after I returned from the ruins. Just like you, I came to my wits and escaped. Tried to get inside the chapel, but it was locked and... What manner of evil is this? Petals? Of blood?
They must have fed them to me.
A blasphemous ritual. How did they learn this? Perhaps the answer lies in the chapel. They kept it locked up for a reason. The key might be on that woman who was leading them.
Searching the deranged bitch's corpse, we roll her over to indeed see the chapel key on her person. The monk Yosef then leads us from the barn, opening the gate down south towards the promised chapel. We check the inn to see the fire still eerily ablaze and the town now truly deserted. It's to the south along the road we follow the fires guiding us, and it seems the burning light gives Yosef an idea of his own.
Only fire can cleanse the darkness in this place. Have a look inside, but hurry. I will prepare the torch.
We then recognize from the symbology on the shrine nearby, we are out front of a Church of Light's place of worship. The monk then kneels to pray, no doubt for guidance, and we query, "What were you doing in Nevesk?"
Looking for the town priest. He stopped sending tithes, and I came to find out why. As I neared the village, I sensed darkness around the ruins. I went to investigate. Found the priest's body. Demons. Foolishly, I took shelter in Nevesk and ate their food. You know the rest.
We use the key we found and swing open the chapel's doors to see it empty, save a strange, foreign substance floating to the floor and question aloud.
Blood petals? Like the ones I was fed? Is this real?
Concentrating, we touch the petal source, using our abilities of psychometry through blood magic to read the events that have transpired before and are unwittingly catapulted into a vision of the past.
shameful. Our Father has granted you a path to salvation. And yet, you stray from it at every opportunity. You drink and gamble. You covet and steal. Shameful.
Sin is their birthright. My children. The lords of hell are coming to devour our world. Salvation lies not in the light, but in you. The faith has taught you to deny your heart's desire and turned you into a prisoner within yourself. Break the chains and discover who you were meant to be. Break the chains and be beautiful in sin.
Resist! Resist her temptation! Vani, it's me. I brought your child into this world.
Go to the dry steps and continue your preparations. Now, our true work begins. Right.
You came to thank the light.
We come to on our back outside the burning church with Eoseph leaning over us. How did I get out here?
You collapsed inside. I thought the darkness had swallowed you. I dragged you here and put this cursed place to the torch. What happened to you in there?
I saw a vision. A horned demon. She said the lords of hell are coming. She wanted to help the people survive.
Help them?
She called them her children. And they welcomed her like a mother.
Mother? No. It cannot be.
I must report to the cathedral. Listen, there is a hermit to the northeast. A man of questionable loyalty, but he knows of the forbidden. He might be useful to us.
Bring him to the cathedral in Kyovashad, and you will be in the light's favor.
Eoseph bids us to head for this hermit for answers on the benevolent demon, shoving in our hands a necklace from his order which reads, a too-tight choker worn by those faithful to the Cathedral of Light. Slight discomfort keeps one girded against impurity. Before leaving, we ask the monk, who is this mother?
Do not call her that. It is a demon, Lilith. The Gospel says that she will walk among the people, posing as the Mother of Sanctuary. If she is here, it is humankind's own sin that has brought her.
How will a hermit help against a demon?
He surrounds himself with dark knowledge. Tread carefully, and pray he has not fallen to Lilith as well.
With that grim assessment, we're now putting our fate in the hands of a recluse of dubious allegiance in search of answers, or succumb to this new infection Lilith's followers have thrust upon us. We bid the monk farewell, leaving him and heading east into the unforgiving tempest that almost unnaturally refuses to abate, dutifully clearing out Nevesk's graveyard of the undead, lest they amble towards the church in retribution of the warmth of life entering their tomb. It's not long before we find ourselves on the other side of the small mountain range at the eastern pass, and see the road has been blocked by the unrelenting snow.
Road's blocked. Should clear up when the storm has passed.
We look down upon a slain villager who made the mistake of trying to wait out this intemperate weather. Vowing to not make the same mistake as we had once before, we seek out shelter, and, as luck would have it, spy what appears to be a house in the distance. Next to the house, we see a lit beacon that illuminates a gnarled tree and an odd assortment of bottles. Some of them still reek of strong spirits. This may be where the hermit is shacked up. Entering the frozen abode atop its porch steps, we tepidly ask,
Is anyone here?
Looking around the house, we see a kettle atop a roaring fire. Ugh, whatever is brewing smells awful. Near the door atop a crude table, we note a healer's tools, and they look freshly used. To our right, a shelf of apothecary ingredients. Herbs, mushrooms, organs. Not for cooking, we hope. As we step back next to the bookshelf against the north wall, we hear a slight breeze behind it, and pulling a thick tome,
What are you hiding back here?
the shelf slides to reveal a hidden room inside the bedroom. We see a suit of armor, not worn for a good while. To our right, a bed. By the bed's foot, we see a pile of scattered books, one of which is a specimen's note which reads,
Short fangs, young, freshly turned, an easy kill, further south than the others. They're spreading.
Seems this hermit is doing a spot of research into the darkness that has swept the land, much as we are. We then begin to utilize our blood magics and research the skull ourselves, but pause, sensing an approaching presence.
If you're going to trespass into my home, rifle through my things, then at least have the decency to join me for supper. I'm bloody hungry.
That's quite the story.
I wish it wasn't true, but it is. Why did I have that vision?
Thank those friendly villagers. They gave you the blood of Lilith.
The blood of a demon.
Not just any demon. The daughter of hatred. The mother of sanctuary. She was banished ages ago. But this world is her creation. It was prophesied she would come back.
What does she want?
That's the question. Sanctuary has always been trapped amid the eternal conflict. A war between angels and demons. But Lilith serves neither side. She has her own plans for us.
And me? Am I corrupted?
Not sure yet. But you two share a connection. What will you do about it?
Use it find out what she's after.
Good. Then we're in this together. Rest while you can. Then we'll start in Kyovashad. If we can't stop Lilith, we'll all be damned.
Resting a spell inside Lorith's abode, we head out in the morning to the east toward Kyovashad. Thankfully, the blizzard has finally lifted. Unfortunately, the demon plague in Lilith's wake seems to grow by the hour.
Really? This close to the city? Lilith's evil is spreading.
Post-felling the fallen fiends repeatedly, thanks to the resurrection abilities of their shaman, we find the Eastern Pass is free to cross at last, and happen upon a ruin of a statue that seems to have driven the local hellspawn into a frenzy, even attracting a fallen overseer.
Never thought I'd live to see all this.
Beholding the demon's work of the defaced statue, we can't make out who it represents, and bend down to study the inscription, which is badly marked by and we attempt to decipher the words. May the light of Father Inarius shine down upon all weary travelers of this holy land. Turn east and face towards its radiance, and find strength renewed. We then turn to ask Nah, what's this statue?
The Angel Inarius. I'm sure you've heard the Cathedral of Light babbling about their Holy Father. Well, he's real. An angel walks among us. And when he learns that Lilith is here, blood will flow. They are ancient enemies. They'll drag the whole damn world into their feud unless we can stop it. Let's not linger. Kyovashad lies just ahead.
Heading northeast, we begin to see the Church of Light symbology on the sides of the road and enter a great bridge leading to the entrance of Kyovashad city via its gatehouse. We're then stopped by a guard who says,
Hold. To enter the city, you must
We
first...
have no time for this.
What's this about?
To enter Kyovashad, you must perform a cleansing ritual. It's a meaningless gesture, but some people take comfort in it.
How dare you!
Just let him through, lad. I've tried for years to get Lorath to do the ritual.
Fine. But this one stays.
I'll meet you inside.
Take a piece of holy cedar wood from the shrine and inscribe it with the sin which troubles you. Then cast it into the brazier. As the fire burns the wood, so too will the light burn away your sin.
Not entirely embracing the ritual, we see the knights of the church and consider our position. Heading up the steps, we find a wooden token, burning it as a gesture, choosing anger, an appropriate emotion while being forced to go through these tedious motions while our fate hangs by a thread.
Anger.
We then inform the guard. It is done.
Good. You must feel as though a great weight has been lifted from you. Welcome to Kyovashad.
Earning our rite of passage, we turn to the elder guard in the gatehouse asking, You know Lorith?
Well, a man that old has lived through some dark days. Explains why he's so cross.
We're still suspect on our new ally, but sense something dark in his past that has made him a shell of his former glory. Heading into the city across the great drawbridge, we see the symbol of the Church of Light etched on the wood. Although it appears to be a candle burning and light's radiance shining out, we cannot help but get the sense this may not be a flame, but instead a drop of blood. It looks as if there is plenty to spare in the Angel's holy crusade. Heading into the city, we find just to the northwest, Lorith, bartering with what appears to be the local knacker.
So, what did you write on the little piece of wood? Something about hate or anger, perhaps? Well, it matters little, I suppose.
Wait, a horse? Are you going somewhere on this poor creature?
I'm off to the dry steppes in search of that pale man from your vision. I must know what part he plays in all this. But first, I need you to retrieve something of mine while I finish my negotiations. A merchant in the center of the city has it. Just tell him I sent you.
Okay, but first we have to know of Nevesk. What were the villagers doing in those ruins?
Sacrificing, summoning demons, honing all the wonderful gifts that Lilith gave them.
And Lilith's return was prophesied.
There was a prophecy, yes. It foretold the rise of the primevals, the return of Lilith and Inarius, the doom of our world. Inarius adopted the prophecy for his own selfish purposes, put it in the Cathedral of Light's gospel, and made it seem like he would be the hero to save us.
We heard that prophecy when we were drugged. However, the version we knew was Rathma's from our order, and now Inarius has warped it for his own means. Tell me of this Inarius and his plans.
The Cathedral loves to go on about him. His imprisonment in hell, his valiant escape, his glorious return here, the world he created. But they never mention how being tortured in hell for a few millennia turned you into an ass.
We go to leave and think Lorith called us back, but instead we see he's bartering for the beast.
Cracked hooves, sway back, cloudy eyes. This poor thing is practically crowbait.
With what you're paying, you're lucky she has 4 legs.
Leaving Lorith to his questionable purchase, we head up the stairs to the east and towards the merchant he spoke of. Inside the weapon shop, we apprise. Lorith sent me.
Ah, so the old man's finally decided to buy it back. Knowing him, he didn't mention coin, did he? If he wants his weapon, you will need to pay.
Forced to pay in the stingy hermit's stead, we see Lorith's polearm. While clearly old, its ornate blade has been kept sharpened and polished, as though it would be needed again at any moment.
Wait. The old man sold me this too. He said he didn't need it anymore, but I think he'd want it back all the same. No charge.
Also pick up the strange amulet, inspecting it, seeing it was an old amulet of unique design. It shows wear from years of use. Perhaps it was a badge of office. Returning to Lorith, we begrudgingly inform I had to pay for your weapon.
Apologies.
He also gave me this amulet. What is it?
The Mark of the Heradrim. An ancient order of scholars and mages, sworn to protect Sanctuary from demons. These days, we are few in number. There is another Heradrim, Donan. His breadth of knowledge about demons is equal only to his hubris.
Sounds like he could help us.
You should seek him out in Skosglen. But don't forget about the cathedral. They'll be expecting you, and they might prove to be useful allies too.
You're not coming with me?
I'm going to the dry steppes to find out who that pale man is. Join me when you can, just be careful. Your ties to Lilith, the visions you see, you are the key to finding her and stopping whatever she has planned. Sometimes our paths in life are set to collide. We just don't know it. Whether it is by accident or fate's hand, there is nothing we can do about it. The wanderer lost in the storm, fed the blood of Lilith, saved by a lone monk. Different lives and incidents drawn together. By what? Destiny? Or some greater power pulling the strings? I did not know. But at the time, I thought I had the chance to protect humanity from the daughter of hatred. The Wanderer's connection to her gave me hope. Imagine that.